Hey YouTube, it's just Brandy, and let's talk The Walking Dead. So on this episode, we got some flashback information, which is always helpful because we did a jump forward when we came back from the break between November and February after Rick died. It's now been 6 years. We knew that Michonne had RJ, so we knew that, you know, she didn't know it at the time that Rick died, but she was pregnant by him. And we saw where, you know, Michonne has been very closed off about leaving Alexandria, helping people, letting new people in. We saw that she had an X on her like back. Daryl had an X on his back at one time. We didn't know what those were. I thought maybe some sort of like surgery, like kidney transplant or something. I had no idea what it was. So this episode helped to answer some of those questions. So when the episode started, Michonne was not pregnant, but she was out basically trying to find Rick, because remember, they couldn't find a body after the explosion. So her and Daryl, like, you know, for that closure, they're trying to figure out, like, where is he at? What happened to him? Where is his body? So she's walking, and along the banks of this river, lake, you know, body of water, whatever it is, she finds Rick's gun. She's looking at all the walkers that are around to see if possibly one of them are him. None of them are him. So we have that point in time. And the next point in time, we jump forward a little bit, and she is visibly pregnant. She's big and pregnant. She's, you know, looking like she's about 7 or 8 months pregnant, and she's still out looking for Rick along this body of water. And Daryl comes upon her and basically tells her, he's not here. I've searched this whole area. I've searched all the way to the ocean, and nothing, you know. So we see that they're both searching, they're both wanting this closure, they're both looking for answers. So then we go back to Alexandria, and this is the time while Michonne is pregnant. So this would be 8 to 9 months after Rick died, and people are coming back to Alexandria from being out in the world. You know, I don't know if they're foraging, I don't know what they were out for, if they were coming back from somewhere else, but they have these people with them, and they're like, oh, we found them on the way back, and one of them is hurt, and it was a black woman. I think her name was Jocelyn. So they're like, they go to get Michonne, you know, who is the pseudo leader of Alexandria at this time. And when she comes to the gate, they're explaining the situation, and when she looks at the female that is there, it's somebody that she knows. She's like, oh my God, Jocelyn. And she starts crying, and she's like, Michonne. So Michonne is like, oh my God, like, I'm in the apocalypse, and I done like ran up on my friend. Like, this is somebody that I knew back in the day. You know, what's the odds that I would come across her? Like, this is so great, because right now, you know, even though I have my core group of people, I'm in pain, I'm hurting, I've lost someone, and wow, I could use a friend right now. So she's like, basically on the basis of their previous relationship and knowing her before the zombie apocalypse, she's like, okay, it's cool, she's cool, like, let her in, like, yes, we will definitely help her. So this Jocelyn is by herself. It's her, she has like a teenage boy with her, and then she has all these children. So when they come, she only has a few of the children with her, and like I said, she's injured, and so they're trying to get her medical attention, and she's like, no, I gotta go, you don't know, you don't understand, I've left other people behind, I need to go. So basically Michonne is like, you know, no, you need medical attention, so we'll go for you, like, you know. So they take the other little kids that came, and they go back to like wherever their camp was, like where they were staying, in this abandoned warehouse, and they, you know, whistle and all these kids come out. So she's basically out with all these kids. So they're thinking, oh, we rescued this woman and she's got all these children. Like, Alexandria is a perfect place. We've got walls, we've got schools, we've got houses. Like, you know, like, they should be so grateful that we let them into this situation. So mind you, it doesn't turn out so well, because this woman has trained these children to be killers. And basically they see Alexandria as an opportunity to come up. So they go to the pantry. They done raided the whole pantry, took all the food, killed the man that was over the pantry. And they're like, oh my gosh, not only did they kill the man that was over the pantry and took all the food, they took all the children. Like, it's like she's got a like psycho thing with children. Because she told Michonne that children are basically very resilient and children can be taught. Like, she's basically, you know, these children are like a blank slate. They don't know anything else but the zombie apocalypse. They don't know another world, you know, they don't know another way. So all they know is how to survive in this world. So, of course, she took Judith. So Michonne is freaking out because she has taken Judith, who was about 4 at this time. So her and Daryl are like, no. And Michonne is big and pregnant, but she's like, no, I gotta go find Judith. So they're out and they're, you know, trying to find, you know, where did they go. And they're out and they have a little heart-to-heart moment and talk and everything. And then, you know, they come up on this like old schoolhouse, and they find this group. Well, they had kind of split up, you know, as they went into the building, and Michonne comes up on the group first, and they basically have her cornered with all these weapons and are like, drop it. And then they shoot Daryl with an arrow. So they end up getting tied up. And at that time, they have these brands, and they mark both of their backs with this brand and mark them with an X. And at that time, we don't know, you know, really kind of what that means. Well, we found out later in the episode, the woman says to the little kids, because she made little kids do it, she's like, what do you do? She's like, we marked our target, now we kill our target, or something crazy like that. So it was like X marks the spot, like whatever got the X on it, that's what you kill. Like, she's training them like a dog. Like, it was just crazy. So then these kids are like trying to kill Daryl and Michonne, like while she was leaving. So Michonne ends up killing her friend Jocelyn. And then these kids are coming for her to kill her. Like, first it's like the teenage boy. He's like, kill them and kill their children. So she's like in a catch-22, because it's like these children are trying to kill her. She doesn't want to kill these kids, but then they're on their way to kill her kids too. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So these children are charging at her. One stabs her with a knife in her pregnant stomach and slices it. And it's like she had no choice. These children were coming for blood. They were not going to stop until she was dead. She ended up having to kill all the children with the exception of one. And she even knew him by name. Like, she kept trying to talk these children down. Like, stop, you don't have to do this. You can come back. No, she ended up having to kill all the children. And then, you know, saved her children. So, flashing forward, Judith disappears. And so Michonne is like, oh my gosh, where did Judith go? She left a note. She's like, Mom, our friends need help. She's like, oh my God. So she goes and talks to Negan, because of course, you know, that's Judith's ace boom coon. Like, she loves going to talk to Negan. So she goes to talk to Negan, like, do you know where Judith is? Has she been here? And Negan's like, oh, ain't that your daughter? So why you coming to ask me? If anything, she like you. The same way you don't listen to nobody, she don't listen to nobody. She doing what she would think is right, and you would do what you think is right, or whatever. So Michonne is like, okay, I know where she's going. She's going to be trying to go, like, help Daryl, Henry, Lydia, and Connie. So Michonne goes out. She ends up finding Judith, who is battling a little mini herd of walkers with her. You know, she's like such a mesh of Michonne, Carl, and Rick. She's got the revolver that was Rick's that he gave to Carl. She's got Carl's hat on, and then she's got a samurai sword like Michonne. So, you know, she's like a little mini hybrid of all of them. And she's killing these walkers. Michonne starts killing these walkers, and then one grabs her and she's like, Mommy, you know, to remind us that, you know, she's all of 10 and she's out here like by herself. So then they have a conversation and they talk about the situation with Jocelyn and those other kids. And Michonne's like, I thought you didn't remember this situation, but that's why I am the way I am, because I let people into this community and it was bad for us. They hurt us. They took you, you know, we let our guard down and the enemy came in the walls, and I just don't want to do that. She said, I made a vow at that point to protect the people in these walls at all costs. So, you know, if that meant not going out, not helping, you know, so she just didn't know what else to do. She has children at this point. You know, before it was just her, but now she's got these children. She was pregnant. You know, she's got another child. She had a child before the apocalypse, and that child died. So it's like she has another chance, and she's just trying to do whatever she can to protect these children of hers. So Judith is like, okay, we're supposed to protect the ones that we love, but when did we stop loving Kira? When did we stop loving Dara? When did we stop loving Ezekiel? When did we stop loving Maggie? And so basically she was like, you know, you're right. We have to protect the people we love, and that's everybody that we love. So at the end of the episode, they basically go out and they catch up to Daryl and Connie, Lydia and Henry, and they're like, you know, let's go to the kingdom. You need a ride to the kingdom. So they head to the fair. So now they have this group, and at the very end of the episode, we see them arrive at the kingdom, and there's a couple of whisperers that see Lydia in this this wagon, and it's like, oh, we need to let Alpha know Lydia is here. So the whisperers are going to be aware that Lydia is at the kingdom, and we know that the kingdom is in a bad position, the worst of all of the three groups. And yeah, it seems like the fight is coming to the kingdom, so we will see what is going to happen with that. But that is this episode of The Walking Dead. There's only 2 episodes left before the season is over with, so we'll see how, if the Whisperers are going to continue into the next season, or if this whole Whisper issue will be resolved by the end of this season. Not quite sure, but that's my recap. I will see you in my next